The Ministry of Shipping is working on a new shipbuilding scheme to incentivize Indian shipyards till 2035 that will enable India to become among the top 10 shipbuilding nations by 2030 and the top 5 by 2047. Amid the entry of the Russian Sprut in the Indian light tank competition, the DRDO L&T-developed Jewar is still poised to be a frontrunner. Under a 6,000 crore rupees contract signed in 2022, India is all set to start the delivery of 35 km range Akash-1S air defense missile systems to Armenia. The DRDO has started development of a cutting-edge through-wall imaging radar in both handheld and tripod-based configurations. Russian Navy's Varyag missile cruiser and the Marshal Shapashnikov frigate have called at the port of Kochi to participate in drills with the Indian Navy and resupply their stocks at the port. With an eye on China, the US and Australia have decided to start the joint production of guided multiple launch rocket systems and have increased the rotational presence of American forces bombers on Australian soil. Citing national security as the reason, the Defense Ministry has refused to share data regarding shortages of personnel in the armed forces. Indian Navy frigate INS Tabar conducted a Maritime Partnership Exercise with German Navy's Sea Lynx helicopter in the North Sea. According to latest media reports, Dassault Aviation is planning its Rafale and Mirage 2000 MRO facility to be a standalone facility without partnering with Reliance Defense. Although this new facility is not in tandem with Prime Minister's idea of Make in India by joining hands with Indian companies, the new MRO will definitely aid the Indian Air Force and Indian Navy to maintain and overhaul their Rafale and Mirage 2000 fighters in India. Interestingly, if Dassault Aviation manages to bag the 114 MRFA order, Dassault plans to develop this facility into a production facility, thus paving way for local manufacturing of Rafale F4 and F5 aircraft. A former Vice Chief of the Indian Air Force has said that apart from F404 engine delay from the US, delays can also be foreseen in the delivery of AESA radars from Israel due to the ongoing conflict, and this delay in Tejas Mark 1A is likely to have a snowballing effect on the Tejas Mark 2 and AMCA. He also stated that while supporting self-reliance, the minimum deterrence value needs to be maintained, and he suggested procuring 36 more Rafale fighter jets immediately to maintain combat edge in the region, and reviewing the situation subsequently, and he clarified that this is not panic buying, but a necessity. The DRDO has initiated fabrication work on the Pinaka MK3 with a 120 km range under the Long Range Guided Rocket project, and there are indications of plans for both 120 km and 300 km variants with a uniform 300 mm caliber. The US has completed its formalities for 31 MQ-9B deal, and India is now in the final stages of the 31 MQ-9B procurement process. The Defense Ministry had approved amendments to the deal with General Atomics last week, which are within the scope of the initial agreement and primarily focuses on increasing indigenous content. The deal is expected to be cleared by the Cabinet Committee on Security in the next meeting, and will be signed during the Quad Summit in December. Today's top 3 comments.